Hey everybody, my name's Abby. I decided to choose Hillside as my focus point for my agency assessment paper and PowerPoint presentation. Some of you may know what Hillside is, some of you may not. I'm going to start talking about Hillside, go over the agency. I'm going to discuss my interview that I had with Kate Urbanek, who is the Director of Service Integration and the Intake Department here at Hillside. I'm going to discuss two social problems that are present at Hillside, two potential strategies and problem-solving techniques. I also included a reference page and a summary of my interview with Kate, as well as a fun little clip towards the end of the presentation that shows one of our residential treatment facilities on Monroe Ave campus in Rochester. Who does Hillside serve? What is Hillside's history, mission, and vision? And who is on Hillside's leadership team? So Hillside is a private non-for-profit human service organization in New York State. We do have physical locations and campuses all over, primarily in Western and Central New York. Our home base is here in Rochester, New York. We actually have a couple locations in Rochester, but our main location is where they call Mustard Street, which is like our big corporate office. Then we also have our Monroe Ave campus here at Hillside, which is also where I work part-time. I work as Atria specialist and service integration, and I'll kind of go over that more in a couple slides. Hillside provides many different services. We have community-based services. We have schools, which include the day treatment program. We have residential treatment facilities, multiple. We have a foster care, therapeutic foster care program. And we also provide mental health services and supports for children, youth, and families. Hillside primarily focuses on those individuals who have experienced trauma, have emotional and behavioral challenges, and also have mental health concerns that can cause some family instability. Hillside has many different funding resources. One of them that you probably all know is Medicaid. Medicaid does cover a majority of our services. The school, I believe, the day treatment program, a couple of our community-based services, and so on and so forth. We do contract with both New York State and counties, so multiple counties. I can't even tell you how many. I'm not going to name them all. New York State Office of Mental Health and the New York State Office of Children and Family Services also provide funds to us here at Hillside. We also just started a new healthcare partnership with the University of Rochester Medical Center, which is actually pretty awesome because we actually work with them to help provide a basically a transitional housing support for youth who are coming out of being inpatient, hospitalized, and going either home or to another facility or placement. And we kind of work with them to make sure that they're stable and they're safe before they go off to the next center. We also partner with Children's Health Homes of Upstate New York, CHUNY. We also receive donations and grants from fundraising, individuals, communities, those types of things. Our rates for Hillside are dependent upon the service. Some of the preventative and community-based programs for youth and families are free in Monroe County. And we also have residential programs or out-of-home programs that can be covered through referrals or local social services. Hillside's vision and mission. Hillside's mission is to positively impact the lives of children, youth, families by offering a wide range of services designated to meet their unique needs. Vision for the youth and families served to be able to overcome challenges, heal, and thrive within their communities. I thought this was cool. So Hillside's history. In 1837, the Rochester Female Charitable Society actually established Hillside to help meet the needs of orphaned and vulnerable children. And they called it the Rochester Orphan Asylum. And that was the name of Hillside until 1921 when it became Hillside's Home for Children. They changed the name because there was a stigma associated with the word orphan. In 1940, it became Hillside Children's Center, more so in response to kind of evolving more from like the orphanage and the institutional feel model of the residents to a more modern day cottage like treatment center for the youth. And then most recently in 2020, they renamed Hillside Children's Center to just Hillside because we now offer more diverse services to people. We do not just offer services to children, we now offer it to actually adults, families, and the entire community. So that is really, really, really cool. We have a CEO here at Hillside, Maria Cristalli. She is our president and chief executive officer. She joined Hillside in 1991, which, fun fact, is the same year I was born. She has held various positions while here at Hillside. She's also responsible for over 2,000 staff. It's a lot of people. We do have a chief executive team. I'm not going to go through and name them all, but there is a bunch of them. We have a executive leaders, multiple executive leaders. And we also have a board and advisory council. They consist of board of trustees, board of governors, officers, and we also have a Syracuse advisory council. And these members govern and help respond to all of the diverse needs of the communities that we serve. So back to me. I took this position part-time as a triage specialist at Hillside, just looking to supplement my income. But I have actually found that I love this position. There is a lot of people that have been here for a very long time, which is really cool. And there's so many different programs. I'm honestly still learning about all of them and everything that Hillside has to offer. Um, my primary position, I answer the phones. So we have a 24/7 triage call center, basically. People use it as crisis support. People call this number to get information about the programs. We actually have a lot of internal calls, emergency calls, and things like that. So people trying to get connected with the on-call worker for a certain youth or program, and so on and so forth. We do connect people that call from the community to resources as needed. We transfer a lot of the calls to the appropriate department or individual. We do also document in our electronic medical record for youth as necessary, and we do actually provide records requests. So if somebody is asking for, I was they're calling because they were here in 1990 something, and they want a copy of their medical records or their time here. We actually request that they send us a consent, and then we are able to go in to find those records and then send them those records. So it's really cool. We also help with referrals and integration. We do a lot of assisting with the intake process and so on and so forth. Just a little information as well. Melissa Loudon, she is our supervisor in triage. And then we also have her direct supervisor is Karen, and she is the manager of all of the triage specialists. And then we have our head supervisor, who is also the director of integration and the director of our intake department, Kate Urbanek. I was fortunate enough to interview Kate. So I did ask her a couple questions. This is just a couple of them, but I did ask her more than this. I just wanted to focus on a couple. Basically just for her to describe her role, how long she's worked at Hillside, what are Hillside's greatest strengths, what does she feel contributes most to Hillside's success, what are the challenges that she sees being faced? How does Hillside address these challenges? And how has Hillside provided a positive impact in the community? Kate said she's worked here for 22 years. And she has had various roles which have led her to her current role as a director. She has mentioned that there is a lot of longevity here at Hillside. A lot of people are committed to serving the youth and families here, which is really cool. So I have actually come across quite a few people that have worked here for a very long time. Which is kind of, reassuring. They do call those people lifers. They say that they're either lifers or they're here for a short time. So she did say the greatest strength is the staff here at Hillside. She mentioned that their leadership team contributes most to the success of the agency. And she did say that some of the big challenges that Hillside is currently facing are their rates for services and the current financial climate, which has made it difficult to operate services at times. She did mention that the CEO and executive leadership team are working hard to advocate for the agency to help make some changes and address these barriers. And she did say that Hillside has been able to successfully reunite families, bring youth home after out-of-home placement, and help them achieve permanency and graduation. So I always like hearing the success stories. All right, so some problems that I see at Hillside after talking to multiple people and doing research of my own. I have noticed that there's been ongoing challenges related to the state level underfunding. Reimbursement rates have rose, and there has been limited available financial resources offered to Hillside. Uh, we have historically experienced high staff turnover and ongoing workforce shortages. So a lot of our programs, we are short staffed sometimes, or, we have a high turnover rate, which can create challenges to help maintain services. Hillside does face challenges related to outdated technology systems. That is something I have come across firsthand. Our technology is definitely outdated compared to my other position where I've kind of compared employers to the technology. We have flip phones. So when I work remotely 1 day a week, I actually have a flip phone I have to answer and transfer people to the other callers on the flip phone. Uh, they are talking about getting a new system where we have a headset and we're able to transfer people that way, which would be awesome via our computer. So there's a lot of other technology systems and programs here that definitely could be advanced. Due to uh, these problems that exist, Hillside, unfortunately, it has, with the limited funds, it has made it hard for Hillside to expand programs, hire more qualified staff, invest in resources, and give employees more competitive wages. Um, People that we're serving may experience longer wait times to get into a program. There may not be enough staff or program availability for individuals. Um, whoops, which kind of creates, some difficulty. And we also, the high staff turnover can increase recruitment and training costs, which also lowers employee morale overall. Frequent staff changes also disrupt the development of trusting relationships with your clients. People want to meet with somebody and develop a rapport and build and grow. And if somebody is, only employed for a month and then they leave and then somebody else new comes in, that is, it's changing the trust that the client is building with the staff, unfortunately, which can, impact our outcomes. Older technology can also decrease efficiency, which is very, very true. And I see that firsthand, slower communication among staff, hindering accurate data collection and reporting, and making it difficult to coordinate services effectively. Clients may also experience scheduling delays, communication difficulties, and longer processing time for referrals and documentation. All true. So unfortunately, it's kind of been a ongoing issue. All right, guys. So this is where you come in, class. What would you guys recommend as a solution to one of these problems that I mentioned at Hillside? How would you what problem would you focus on first? Would you guys focus on the technology issue or would you guys focus on staffing issues? And how would you guys go about addressing this issue? Is there a certain process you would use? Is there something that you guys know would work effectively? What would you guys do? I'm open to suggestions if you want to put a comment in or on the discussion post, or if you want to even send me an email, that's totally okay too. But I'm just curious to know what you guys would do and what some, feedback would be. Personally, as if I was a future leader, I would utilize Kirst Ashman's 7-step change process. I really think that this is one of the coolest things that I've learned in this class. And I think that it can be super helpful for all different organizations to utilize when it comes to implementing change or, addressing barriers. Um, so yeah, I would utilize this. And in the next two slides, I actually kind of go step by step on the process I would use for each problem. So for the technology barriers, that would be what I would focus on first. Personally, I would try to address the technology barriers because that might help bring more staff, possibly. So as a leader in the engagement phase, I would definitely build a report with different supervisors, kind of go through and see what their concerns are, and just kind of, go through and develop a rapport with everybody. In the assessment phase, I would go through and collect data, and I would observe the delays myself, and I would review their challenges. But I would also identify strengths that we have here. So a lot of staff are very adaptable, and there also is some technology resources that we do have that can provide positive, impacts on when we get new technology. It would be super beneficial to have this other technology to incorporate too. Um, in the planning phase, I would actually explore solutions to the technology problem. So like upgrading our electronic health records, getting the new system for transferring calls remotely, getting new updated, you know, computers. Phones are all still flip phones here. So maybe just getting new, different technology and advancing that, which would help improve communication. And that would also enhance our service delivery. The implementation phase, I would have staff all kind of take time, schedule time to train how to use the new technology in their specific role and department. And I would also offer ongoing support and have other staff members that are who are able to train and support as well be available to help make the transition as smooth as possible. And the evaluation phase, I would have leadership kind of overview and assess how the technology is working, if it is actually improving the technology barrier, and if staff are satisfied with the advancement in technology, and if there are any issues, and if it's not functioning as it was supposed to, then definitely this would be the phase where we would kind of go through and redo things as needed. And then the follow-up phase, I would definitely monitor the effectiveness of the technology, and then again, address any challenges, and if adjustments need to be made in this phase as well, they can be made. And then the termination phase, which I didn't list, would be they don't need me anymore. They don't need anything. They're good. They figured it out. There's no more need for a leader or social worker in this case. So, all right. I think my mouse froze, so bear with me, everybody. There we go. Okay. So this other one, the next one was based on the employee turnover. So in the engagement phase, I would engage with employees. I would listen. I would, discuss their concerns and help try to build like open communication. And I would want them to open up to me and share with me what's going on. Why is there such a high turnover? Why are our employees leaving? Why are they not happy? And then I would look into the causes of the staffing shortages. I would review employee feedback. I would do exit interviews. And then I would look into identifying basically the biggest barriers in employee retention and recruitment. In the planning stage, I would develop a realistic retention plan that helps maximize the funding, prioritizing low-cost strategies. And I would also explore grants and community partnerships too to help support workforce development. I would implement retention strategies in the implementation phase. I would provide consistent support. I would recognize employee contributions, and I would also try to work on improving workplace culture and reduce the turnover. In the evaluation phase, I would definitely evaluate the effectiveness to see if the retention efforts worked. I would monitor the turnover rates. I would probably provide surveys to the employees just to see their feedback. And then in the follow-up phase, I would definitely continue meeting with employees to discuss progress, address any other concerns that may come up in the meantime, and just kind of work on sustaining the employee engagement and retention. I mean, really, that's the biggest thing is we want to keep employees. Hillside actually has made some changes to help address some of these barriers on their own, which I think is awesome. So, uh, awesome-ish. The first one, not so great, which is kind of sad. So they have closed underperforming programs and campuses due to having high operational costs and low utilization. Recently, Hillside actually did just close their Maryland location. We actually had a Maryland location, and we had one of our integration triage specialists working there, and she got let go, unfortunately, because they're no longer keeping that program open. They have offered higher wages recently, comprehensive benefits to help decrease turnover and staffing shortages, which is great. We actually all just got an employee bonus too, which is kind of cool. Their leadership team has developed, as of recently, we just got an email, a new strategic plan intended to guide us through 2030 to help ensure technology solutions are addressed. Cool. Maria Cristalli sent a notice to all of us saying that they just opened a new position. It is called the Chief Information Officer, CIO. Their role is to collaborate across the agency to ensure that our technology is fully integrated throughout service delivery and business functions. Ding, ding, ding. Great. Perfect. That's what we need. And I think everyone has kind of been advocating for increase in technology. So technology is definitely a barrier here. Oh gosh, so many impacts of the change. If we increased and updated our technology, it would improve everything. It would improve the time spent on manual paperwork and outdated systems, more time for our staff to spend with the clients. It would enhance communication, better collaboration and continuity of care, improve accuracy of documentation and data collection, reducing errors, supporting compliance with state and funding requirements, and would also strengthen Hillside's outcomes all over. And then the increased staff retention would create better consistency for client relationships, reduces recruitment, hiring, and training costs, increases the employee morale, job satisfaction, and teamwork, more positive work environment, and it reduces staff burnout by maintaining the adequate staffing levels. So workloads are kind of more evenly distributed. All right. So overall, updating technology and improving staff retention would increase Hillside's organizational efficiency, enhance employee satisfaction, reduce operational costs, improve the quality of care and service delivery provided to children, adults, families, on all of the community that Hillside services. It will strengthen Hillside's ability to fulfill its mission and vision, maintain financial sustainability, and even despite ongoing funding and budgetary challenges. All right, so I'm going to come back to this. This is a little tour. It's about 2 minutes long of our campus located here in Rochester. It's an older video, but it kind of looks the same. And this is actually one of the campuses that I physically work on part-time when I'm not remote. Whoops. I just wanted to show you references. I did add the graphic references as well, the pictures. I don't know if you guys noticed in all my slides, I had a little hillside icon kind of in all of them. So that is our like little, uh, it's everywhere. It's on the Hillside website. It's on our badges. It's on everywhere in campus. There's little hillside things. So I just thought it was cool to add to all the slides. And then I did add right here, if you click it, a Microsoft Word document, which is a summary of the interview that I had with Kate, the full interview. So let me go back to the slide with the video. This is so fun. I'm ready to, I actually haven't watched this video yet. So I just found it and I thought it was so cool. So that's the number that people call, and that is our 24/7 hotline number, the 256-7500. So we have calls all the time. But thank you guys for watching and participating in this presentation. This is actually a really fun project. So thanks. Now I just have to figure out how to get out of here.